And we are back. See how much I can get done now. We need to find Sphene. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Oh, Sarah, thank you for coming. As I mentioned, I would benefit from your worldly experience. Perhaps it is my imagination, but the townspeople appear to be acting oddly. That is, even considering the current state of affairs. As I am yet unfamiliar with the outskirts, I thought you might be better equipped to judge if their behavior is unusual or not. Would you speak with them to see what you think? Though I hope to be proven wrong, I fear something is not right here. Oh, please tell me you brought some more Neo regulators. Officially, they've all been handed out already, but I've heard rumors that there were a few left over. Surely the government still has some. Or perhaps Queen Speen? I may not look it, but I was a hunter once. Back then, I hardly gave death a second thought. But now that I know the truth, it's all I can think about. There has to be a way to hold on. There has to. There. You're not wearing a regulator. Don't you know the end is coming? Well, it's your life to lose. Me, I got myself one of those Neo regulators and registered a little while ago. As soon as I did, a display appeared showing the number of registered users. Right now, it's sitting at 4,168. The upper limit was 5,000, wasn't it? Seems the total shot up right after those machine malfunctions. It's only a matter of time before everyone's registered. I pity those who weren't chosen, but I'm going to be an endless. I'm going to evolve and live happily ever after. Some pretty wild stuff. Still don't think I'd ever go for that regulator thing, though. I mean, it's just not life. That's just not life. Greetings. I remember when you visited with Queen Speen. Come to check on our well-being, have you? Well, I can say that things are rather stressful out here as well. Without knowing if or when our machinery might turn murderous, the specter of death is ever present. People are terrified, and the clamor for neo-regulators has reached a fever pitch. I personally was fortunate to have claimed a new device early on, and have long since completed the registration. Death has no hold over me now. Now I must begin my prayers. The darkness draws closer, grows deeper, and we must cast it out. Okay. That guy sounded a little religious. Okay. Little Church of the Neo-Regulator going on there. Alright, let's go find Speen. So, what do you think? Was I right to worry? Tensions are running high. Yes, that is exactly it. The people are overwhelmed by uncertainty and fear, and with each new registration, that fear inside them grows more insistent. How long until it drives them into a full-blown panic? Losera, can you come to resolution? We have a problem. I'm already here with Lamati and Alphino. It sounds like she wants us there in a hurry. We should go.
What's happened? Sorry to drag you out here, but I thought it best you see for yourself.
Death is your constant companion. Though you toil with diligence, death may come ere your reward is bestowed. Though your grand works be poised for completion, death may come ere you wake the following morn. Though you enjoy a life of peace and good fortune, death needs but one instant to claim you. Your bodies are weak. Your heart, your brain, every fragile organ rolls the dice from moment to moment. Sheer chance deciding if they function or fail. Be you stoic or generous or righteous, no virtues tip the scales in that fatal reckoning. The choice is made without reason. The end is cloaked in terror. That is what it means to die.
The announcement began after we finished our meeting with Gossen. As for its source, well...
Calyx.
There is no shame in being afraid. It is that very fear which will drive you to conquer death. Let us set a new course for mankind. Let us preserve our existence unto perpetuity. wish for it, pray for it. We will become endless. With evolution's brilliance, will we banish the ever-present darkness of mortality.
Change isn't easy. No one ever wants to take the first step. But this is the right path for us. What other way could there be? I'm gonna do it. I'm going to register.
Wow, Wuklamat! You couldn't have come at a better time. Please, you have to let us move to Tuliolal.
It's too dangerous to stay here. Who knows when the next century will turn on us? Even if we wanted to become endless, there are no more neo-regulators to be had. Fleeing is our only option.
If the solution was as simple as leaving, then we'd all have left already. Did you not hear the announcement? For the living, death is a foregone conclusion. No matter where we go, or who we shelter with, we won't get another chance like this to overcome our fate.
Easy for you to say when you have that regulator.
The Landsguard are on their way as we speak, and arrangements have been made to see that you all will be safely evacuated. Tulichola will aid you in whatever way we can. So please, remain calm.
I want to help Alexandria. I want to save its people. But what can I do? I am not their queen.
Crowded down here. My apologies. The sign is not responding to any of our attempts to change the display or switch it off. For those deadly malfunctions and now a citywide announcement, he has spent considerable effort recruiting his 5,000 endless, perhaps more than necessary even. We had the hopefuls who descended on Lamites disperse for now. We could see tempters in the crowd were starting to fray. This latest wave of attacks may not have been as widespread, but people are reaching their breaking point. We have to stop Calyx, and soon. I'm sorry, I couldn't be there in time. Cryo told me everything that happened while we were away. Calyx has access to the core system, which means that if he chose to do so, he could deploy the soldiers beyond the barrier. Even if our people learn to live with death and decide to leave the dome behind, they will not be beyond his reach. Yet, if it serves to allay their fears even a little, I beg you, Wuklamat, please let them shelter in Tuliolal. We will welcome any and all who want to come. We've already begun evacuations, and we'll be able to pick up the pace once the Landsguard arrives. In which case, we had best spread out and keep an eye on the crowds. The mood is tense, and we must prepare for possible violence. If you happen to determine where Calyx is hiding, though, we'll be ready to move at a moment's notice. Surely we'll find a clue of some kind soon. He can't elude us forever. Violence and fear. This is not the future she envisioned for her nation. You give so much of yourselves to aid those in need. I must endeavor to find my own small way to help. Preservation, their purpose. Tuliyola would gladly welcome every last Alexandrian with open arms. But what if the nation the late queen was so desperate to preserve? What if that bright haven of peace and laughter? Uklamat. I won't stand here and let her legacy be sullied any further. I will protect Alexandria. That was the promise I made to her at the last. But she betrayed you, did she not? Why do you feel this obligation? I saw myself in her, I suppose. We both felt the people's joy as our own, yet alone, we lacked the strength to protect them. There is so much that I love in this world, too much for me to take in my arms and keep safe. And that made me afraid. I wanted, I needed someone who shared that love and fear, so together we could do what we couldn't by ourselves. Or maybe it's simpler than that. Maybe I just wished we could have been friends. So when she turned to me in her final hour, desperate to safeguard Alexandria's future, I swore that I would see it done. In the end, I think you both found the friend you needed. I would be yours as well, Sphene. Whenever you fall or struggle to rise, I'll come running to the rescue, and you do the same for me. That's how we'll protect the things we love. That's how we'll protect Alexandria. You're right, you're right. And don't forget about me over here, too. How could we? We'd not be where we are now without you. Right. We got a bit sidetracked there. We should probably be on our way. Do we patrol or see if Shale needs a hand? There you all are. Galuja! Ah, splendid. We were afraid we'd miss you. Alice and the others said you were here. Good news, Lucera. We finally found a chink in Calix's armor. We discovered laboratories in Everkeep's 10th level that once housed the Preservation Initiative. Containment Complex 1029 it's called, and it's been falsely registered as a distribution center. In reality, it hasn't recorded any traffic in decades. We don't think this is where Calix is hiding as such, but it may well contain clues that will point us in the right direction. I'm sorry it took so long just to get this far. If you're interested, what do you say we all go and check it out together? Thank you for all your hard work. This is a huge step forward. And up. We need to take the lift to get to the complex. I've cleared this expedition with the relevant authorities, and we have one of our people waiting to operate said lift. Let's not keep her waiting. Okay, let's go find this attendant. Preservation laboratories. I shudder to think at what they were researching, but this is no time to be squeamish. An institute on the preservation scale would have had many such facilities in the city, yet I cannot help but wonder if this one is where my parents worked. Shale made me her assistant. She was teaching me the basics of data management. It sounds like Guluja played a big part in this breakthrough. I'll be sure to treat him to a fine feast once this is all over. I'll share the method we used to find the containment complex once we're inside. It wasn't actually all that different to the story of how we stumbled across the back room. Ready to head up? Next stop, the 10th level. Let's go.
So this is one of Preservation's laboratories.
It's so dark I can barely see.
Just a moment. If I can reroute the power to the circuit.
You got the lights working!
Smell how stale the air is. This room hasn't been in use for many years.
It was thanks to Krile and Galulja that we managed to locate this place.
You may remember that my earring contained the control code for the gate to the Golden City. As it was Preservation that constructed the portal, we reasoned that the code to operate it might include a signature of some sort, unique to their organization.
So I took a closer look, and a line-by-line examination yielded a string of symbols identifying the code's author. We then began accessing the nodes for every door in Everkeep, seeking out control codes which contained those same symbols. After a grueling search, we finally discovered our prize behind door number 1860, the entrance to the facility in which we now stand. I'd probably still be at it if Galulja hadn't been around to assist me.
I took breaks, but Shale never stopped working. Not even once.
You're a treasure, Shale.
I can contribute precious little else, I'm afraid, but I appreciate your kind words. In any case, this next part will require your helping hands.
We need to spread out and search for something that may lead us to Calyx. We're more than happy to help, of course, but I wonder, won't he realize we've found this place?
It's highly likely, and personally I hope he does.
You all know our main objective. We're here to pick up Calyx's trail. And I've learned of a certain device that should help us do just that. I'll explain how as we proceed, but according to the information I was able to dredge up, the device in question should have been installed in the director's office. Now, as for where that might be, yes, this map matches my data. This room we're in is the Researchers' Commons, located in the western side of the complex. The director's office is to the northeast of here. So we should cut across the circular chamber in the middle, yes? Yes, we should, but unfortunately for us, the interior door is locked. We'll need a security key with the appropriate clearance to open it. Judging by the mechanism, it'll probably be a card of some kind. Can't you work some electrope magic? I'll try my best, but this type of lock is well before my time. It may take a while to crack it. And in case I can't, you might want to look around to see if anyone left the security card behind. Considering the state of the place, it does seem like they abandoned it in some haste. I shouldn't be surprised if we found one. Very well, let's get to searching, shall we? I expect we'll have the most luck looking where the researchers kept their personal belongings. You begin searching Containment Complex 1029. Close cooperation will be necessary to overcome the obstacles barring your path forward. Helpful hints will appear in a different color. Pay close attention to the information provided by your comrades should you find yourself unable to proceed. This appears to be the only desk with the drawers already open. You can tell at a glance that the desk's former owner has left some things behind. You discover a card-shaped object. The electrope surface is marked with a bold level 1. Oh, could that be what we're looking for? Try it on the door and see if it opens. Scanning device. The card-shaped object you hold looks to be of a similar size to the scanner panel. You hold the card-shaped object up to the scanner. It's open! You did it, Lucera! And a good thing, too. I was getting nowhere with all that outdated circuit. I am curious, though. Why would they abandon a facility like this? It was run by a Director Demetrius, or so that terminals there told me. Perhaps there are more answers to be had once we venture further inside. Then let's continue onwards. The door to the director's office is across the central hub. This must be the door to the director's office. Go on, try the card. Looks like every room can be accessed from this hub. Another locked door. We could try the same card again, but not a single soul here besides us. Going by the room labels on the map, we haven't entered any of the actual labs yet. You hold the level 1 security card up, but the scanner beeps in disapproval. No good. Maybe we need a different card. Yes, the scanner is demanding a level 3 security clearance to open the lock. As much as the delay chafes me, we'll have to comb through the nearby rooms and hope we stumble upon the card we need. Let's start our search in the proto lab. That door is already open at least. We will find a way through together, Shale. I'm sure of it. Please excuse my impatience. The means to track down Calyx are close, and I'm itching to get my hands on them. I dug through this data tablet and found a journal. I'll read it to you. The results of Experiment 158 show a marked improvement in ether extraction rates. At last, we have achieved the target value set by Master Calyx. Though I will become endless as per our ascendancy protocols, I will preserve this historic number along with my few remaining worldly effects. Preserve the number? It appears to be a researcher's personal data tablet. Today I began my employment at Preservation. The organization was unfamiliar to me, but when the recruitment letter arrived, I had a gut feeling that this work would be far more fulfilling than any orthodox medical practice. My instincts were correct. Master Calyx's philosophy is the refined ideal of notions I've only ever vaguely entertained, that mankind must evolve beyond the shackles of its flesh and blood existence. I had a meeting with Director Demetrius today. I've heard others praise his genius intellect, yet he seems but a guttering candle in comparison to Master Calyx's blinding brilliance. This morning I was permitted to access the top floor and observe the workings of living memory. As predicted, the shortage of ether required to sustain the endless is reaching critical levels, yet Queen Sphene insists on continuing her ineffectual flailing. Our Millalian colleagues, including the Protolab chief, have been behaving in a decidedly suspicious manner of late. Should I report my concerns to the director? From tomorrow, I have been assigned to assist with the research project in Deuterolab. We are scheduled to conduct a major experiment, the details of which I have been kept ignorant. It would seem prudent to back up my memory data. You have reached the end of the journal entries. This machine feeds into a soul cell. I am reminded of my imprisonment by the Empire. Surely this device wasn't made to hold people. These notes seem to be about the research they did in here. Let's take a look. Experiment 148. Submitting inference candidate 201930 to be considered for efficiency procedure review. Experiment 158. Maximum value of 11509 recorded. Comparative study to be included in the report. Alright then. Oh, and one more. Experiment 163. New proposal produced a result of 9834. Decreased value verified. Well, I have no idea what any of that means. Maybe it will make sense later on. The way this room is set up, the canister inserted into that large device looks to be a soul cell. Could this be where they conducted their experiments to create Endless? But we could probably spend days investigating this complex. Finding a way into the director's office must take precedence. Speaking of which, Galuja mentioned a locker over in the corner that he couldn't open. Perhaps you could take a look. The locker door is shut tight, but the number pad suggests that inputting the correct combination will open it. You have gleaned some numerica data from your investigation. Attempt to enter the combination. Okay. Select the number keys on the pad to input a combination. Enter up to 5 digits and press the confirm key. Oh boy, it's going to be one of those numbers that I did not write down. Okay, let's try. You have entered 158 on the number pad. Could this be the right combination? The combination you entered is incorrect. Perhaps speaking with your comrades might yield some useful numerical hints. Okay, we gotta do this the old-fashioned way. Get my paper. In the old days, I would always keep a paper pad nearby if I was playing an RPG or something, so I could write stuff down. Numbers. Okay, so I tried 158 already. That did not work. Numbers. Come on, I had a bunch of numbers. Let's go. I'm just writing down these numbers that are highlighted. Okay, I think those are all the numbers. I don't think Sven had any numbers. Nope. Say it again. Okay. Okay. Dale didn't have any numbers. All right, let's go. Let's try this one first. So that's 9834. Nope, incorrect. Oh, I see. Okay, let's try this. 1, 1, 5, 0, 9. The locker pops open. Inside you discover a level 2 security card. Sarah, you got the locker open. And you found another security card. Oh, but does that say level 2? We needed a level 3, didn't we? Yes, but it should still open more doors for us to explore. You did well, Lucira. These preservation members led such surprisingly normal lives. Leaving notes, losing their cards. I guess I imagined they'd be more, what's the word? Bloodless? Mechanical? My parents were once part of preservation, if you'll recall. It would seem the researchers who agreed with Calyx and his philosophy underwent the conversion to endless entities. But I assume those who could not, or would not, eventually left the organization altogether. Oh, I almost forgot. The researchers kept journals in their data tablets. The one I read doesn't explain much, but something big happened in the complex, and afterwards it was decided that everyone would become endless. The writer was really happy about this. You can tell how much they admired Calyx and his work. The entries ended after that, but maybe you can read more in the other tablet here. There. Right. Let's move this investigation to another room. Well, we have the Deutero lab and maintenance facilities left to search. Both are accessed via the southeast corridor. So it's back to the hub and the locked door across the way, which will hopefully yield before our new security card. I'll take the old one if you like. I doubt we'll have any more use for it. Okay, we are on our way. If there were others besides my parents who left preservation, where might they be now? It seems not everyone who joined preservation became endless right away. There must have been research that required physical bodies. A scanner awaits. Hold the security card up to the panel and it should unlock the door. What else do they have in this place? If I read the map right, it must be a lot smaller than the Uawata facility. Calyx hasn't bothered to show his face yet, I see. Maybe he hasn't noticed us, or maybe he's just watching and waiting. Yes, it opened. So where should we go first, the Deutero Lab or facilities? Let's start with the lab. Shouldn't the security card open this door as easily as the last one? What is it, Guluja? How strange, this door is not lit up like the others. What does this sign say? Shale, there doesn't seem to be any power here. No, none at all. It's possible the energy supply for this room is on a separate conduit, which means there should be a contingency for opening the door. Look here, there's a sign above the card scanner. In case of emergency, backup power can be rerouted from facilities. The facilities room is down the other branch of this corridor. Let's see about getting the power restored to the Deutero Lab, shall we? Oh good, the terminal is lit up. That means we have power in this room. The Deutero Lab must have required greater amounts of energy to operate. What kind of experiments were they conducting in there? Those are some big, flashy floor tiles. I wonder what they're for. So, this room was for managing the power supply and utilities. I hope they kept the security cards in here as well. Engaging power supply. No good. It's returning an error. There must be a preliminary procedure. According to this error code reference, if the power supply has been interrupted for an extended period of time, then we need to reconfigure both the emergency generator and circuit control panels. Shale? That's the emergency generator over there, isn't it? Yes, and by the looks of it, it's the same model as the one used in Heritage Found. But how does it send power to the other lab? Ah, I see. The emergency cable attached to the base of this terminal leads down the hall directly to the Deutero Lab, which means we need a way to connect the generator to that cable. What about these patterns on the floor? Could this be the circuit we need to configure? I believe you have the right of it. Using the control panel set into each of the tiles, we create an unbroken path to the power for the power to follow. what I wouldn't give for an instruction manual. Indeed, if you could look around for any written procedures, I'll keep digging through the terminal's directories. Might I also ask someone to operate the generator? I can do it. I've used that type of machine before. Then would you be willing to try and reconfigure the circuit panel, Lucira? The rest of us can help by supplying Lucira with whatever information might be found on the circuitry configuration. Okay. It's minigame time. Okay, let's look at this. So the generator is over here. This thing. Okay, and I need to get power all the way over there. You must arrange the 4 tile patterns in the correct positions. Access the control panels and configure the circuitry. Oh, I see. Okay. Let's try this. Oh, okay. I think I sort of get it. Let's try this now. Oh, okay, let's try this. It's not quite what I wanted. It worked. We did it, Lucera. The Deutero Lab should now be fully powered. Well done, everyone. If I may, Shale, could we access a certain data log before moving on? I was checking the storage shelves, and one of the labels caught my eye. Preservation, the early days, is the title. Of course, it'll only take a moment to bring up the contents. Ah, it looks to be a text-based account. I'll read it out. Preservation, an Alexandrian Institute for Technological Development, was founded by Calix, an 11-year-old child prodigy. Approval for establishing the organization came during Alexandria's involvement in the storm surge. Calix's designs for new defensive solutions funded in large part by the Treasury. As the conflict grew in intensity and casualties mounted, Calix funneled Preservation's resources towards the perfection of memory storage. Research into this field continued even after the storm surge came to an end, with Calix eventually electing to preserve his own memories in a virtual domain. So, this account is from before he embraced his endless existence, hundreds of years ago. I met him only once before the storm surge began. I was attending my father, who was then the reigning king of Alexandria. Calix could not have been more than 10 years of age and required constant treatment for his debilitating illness. Yet still he published theories so highly regarded that even the royal family was aware of his achievements. Life should not be lost to the injustice of death. Even now I can hear the single-minded will behind his words. So it was that, when war came to our kingdom, my father was quick to commit his unwavering support to this somber youth in his proposals for preservation. Several years later, the ensuing violence brought the death of both my parents. Overwhelmed as I was by my sudden succession to the throne, I suspect they spared me the reports on endless research and other less urgent matters. So you had no way of knowing what kind of person Calix was changing into. Did he change? I wonder. Perhaps he was ever been the type to value ideals over compassion, and I failed to see it at the time. Or perhaps he did change, but is still driven by those same deeply held beliefs that mortality is cruel and unjust, and his role is to deliver mankind from this fate. Whatever the case may be, we cannot allow him to shape our future. Let's press on, shall we? If I've done my job correctly, the door to the Deutero Lab should now be accessible. I'll give everything a once-over, just to be sure. Had his own body not been fated to fail him so young, would Calix have pursued his endless project with such fervor? Everything we read in this place sings Calix's praises. People who worked here must have truly idolized him. That Alexandria survived the war was in no small part thanks to the defensive measures developed by Preservation. In that regard, I shall always be grateful. Yes, the door has power now. The energy current seems stable enough. Still, you should let me handle this one. The security card, if you please. Oh, and a quick prayer for a shorted wire, that a shorted wire doesn't burn me from the inside out. A calculated evolution. Right, I'll get this door open. Phew. Smooth as silk. Let's head inside and see what awaits. Gods above, isn't that? The key to interdimensional fusion. That looks to be a schematic on the monitor. And they've used it to make another key, but isn't it missing the shard inside like the one Lucira has? Ah, we may have been laboring under a misconception. The key was originally a Malala relic. Once this treasure came into its possession, Preservation began working to harness the power to cross dimensions. Aside from the crystal, we can see that all the vessel's components were constructed here. So what might that tell us? The crystal itself is the key. That would be the logical conclusion, yes. It is as my parents explained. The key remains shrouded in mystery. Preservation augmented it with electrope, but never grasped the technology's underlying principles. To this day, not a single person understands the mechanics of interdimensional fusion. Not who imbued the key with its power, not when they did so, nor why. Now it makes sense. Calyx can track the key because its vessel was made by Preservation. I believe there is much we may learn in this room. On our next visit, I will have to enlist Ystoa's assistance for a thorough investigation. I too am curious about a great many things, but pinning down Calyx's whereabouts is our priority. Hopefully there's a security card here that grants access to the director's office. The research conducted in this lab appears to have been highly confidential in nature. Some of the personnel must have belonged to the organization's upper echelons, and that means higher security clearance. We should spread out and look for any cards they left behind. Remember, anything less than a level 3 is no good to us. Okay, unfortunately I've run out of time. So, I will pick this up a little bit later. Anyone who's come along for the visit, thank you so much for tagging along with me and my terrible voice acting. But this story's getting good here. So, until next time, bye-bye.